When I decided that I was going to tell him that I wanted a divorce, I texted my therapist, our marriage counselor, and I was like, I need to tell him that I want a divorce, but I want to do it in a session so that there's like a mediator present. Got us in like ASAP, like 2 days later. And I walked in knowing that I was going to ask for a divorce. And so we sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? The therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying and I was like, I want a divorce. You know, it's hard for me to like say the words. I was like, I'm done. I want a divorce. He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me. He didn't react at all. He just was stone cold. And eventually our therapist was like, would you like to respond? So he responded right away and he's like, fine, let's just go.
What made this moment unforgettable wasn't the divorce itself. It was a silence that followed. She expected heartbreak, emotion, maybe even a fight to stay together. Instead, he remained steady, accepted what was happening, and refused to let the moment become a spectacle. Sometimes real strength isn't found in words. It's found in the quiet decision to move on.
And I just was like, I looked at my therapist and I was just like kind of stunned. Like I knew that I was ready to leave that day, but I couldn't believe that that was his reaction. There was no empathy. There was no compassion. There was no like wanting to fight for us, which I didn't think that there would be, but you know, you just always hope that like one last try, you know? We went home that night. We didn't speak. He slept on the couch. I woke up and went to work the next day, came home. He was playing PlayStation that night. I sat next to him. We hadn't talked in 24 hours. And I said, can we talk about what happened yesterday? And he was just playing, just looking straight ahead. And he's like, what's to talk about? In my mind, I'm thinking, this is our last ditch effort to like steer this ship around, you know? And I was like, so what are we going to do? And he just kept playing. And he was like, I already got an apartment. I already took my name off of the lease. He had done things within that 24 hours. He had opened up the filing folder of his single man life. And
she chose to end the marriage, believing he would break down or fight to keep her. Instead, he quietly accepted the decision and immediately began building a new chapter. That unexpected response became the hardest part to accept. Then another unbelievable story surfaced. A 12-year marriage reportedly collapsed after an AI was asked to interpret coffee grounds as proof of infidelity. According to reports, a photo of the leftover coffee was uploaded, and the chatbot produced a dramatic accusation. She believed it, asked them to leave, and even told the children the marriage was over. But coffee grounds can't reveal the truth. They're neither evidence, nor a counselor, nor a reliable source of answers.
PT analyzed her husband's coffee grounds, and it told her that he was cheating. I only wish I was kidding. According to Greek City Times, she snapped a pic of her husband's leftover coffee grounds in the bottom of his mug, uploaded it to ChatGPT, and asked the AI to read them like some sort of cheater, with a younger woman whose name starts with the letter E. But the wife was not playing around. Told him to leave, told the kids that mom and dad are getting divorced, and when the husband refused to accept this separation, she hit him with chatbot reading your coffee mug is the final straw. The coffee ground, it's not a psychic, it's not a therapist, and it's not even an expert.
I'm going to actually post this because this is super vulnerable for me, and I'm a pretty open person. But earlier this year, I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I walked myself through the logistics of where would I live, how would we split the time with the kids, who gets the dog, where all of those things, okay? Had a full breakdown. I feel like I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that. He is the most self-disciplined, loyal, hardworking, good person that you could meet on this planet. And that is probably the reason why I have not left. Okay? Our relationship and what my expectations are for my marriage and what they always happen are not met, right? Which I don't know if anybody's are. The reason that pushed me to even bring up divorce and talk about it was the fact that I feel like I don't.
Own words. She has a devoted husband, a caring father to her children, and a stable family life. Yet an emotional emptiness still lingers. Sometimes a desire for something different can hide the worth of what's already standing right in front of us.
32 years old. I am a mom of 3, and I still don't know who I am. So for me to be like, oh, I can't be myself, or you don't love me for who I am, isn't really fair because I don't know who I am. Of course, I could get a divorce and try to go find the love that I'm craving with somebody else. But that's going to come with its own hardships, its own complications, and ones that I'm not willing to take on, right? I love Ryan. He is the best father, okay? I just need to learn how to explain what I need from him in our relationship, and he needs to be able to give that, and I need to be doing the same for him so that we can both, like, in 10 years from now, in the next 10 years, look back and say, like, we put in the work and we finally have the marriage and the relationship that.
The response online was deeply divided. Some viewers confessed they once walked away from good relationships and later regretted it. Others believed there had to be more beneath the surface than what was shown. In the end, the discussion became much bigger than one marriage, raising difficult questions about love, commitment, personal fulfillment, and the cost of the choices people make.